This is the most peaceful moment. I mean, oh my goodness. And I just wanted to share this peaceful moment because just look at the water. And it is so peaceful here. And it's just, you know, when God speaks to you, and bad connection, guys, I have bad connection, trying to get something part of the here, right? Because I was going to try to write, and and I'm just sitting here. I'm just sitting here. I'm just sitting here, just feeling the breeze, listening to that water, and maybe it wasn't about the writing, okay? It was about God speaking. It's about what do you hear? What do I hear, Athena, in these winds out here, and this water that keeps hitting up against the um, the land here. I mean, what is it that God is really saying to me in this moment? That's what this really is about, right? So when you really want to regain some peace and really want to get yourself back on track, I mean, just go sit. Just sit and listen. What do you hear? What do you hear God saying? What do you hear? He speaks through the water. He speaks through the trees. He speaks through the birds. Did you hear the bird? Everything. God speaks through everything. And I was going to do a live and I was going to talk to you, right? But then God just said, just let it play. Just listen. Yeah, just listen. My grace is sufficient. That's what he says. He said, just listen. Listen to me in the wind. Listen to me in the water. What do you hear in the wind? What do you hear in the water? What is he saying? Just listen. I hear peace, serenity, freedom. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. If you just listen, it's going to be okay. If you just listen, just listen. I wanted to bring some peace to somebody today because somebody needed this peace. Somebody needed this peace that I'm experiencing at this moment, and you can't go to the place where you can get this peace. And I wanted to give this peace to somebody today. Not man, hear me. And if you just sit with me in my creation, in nature, if you sit with me and just listen, you can pour out everything you need to pour out right here, and He will receive it. And He'll take it if you just listen to the waves and listen to the ripples of the water and know that I am ever moving. I am ever moving, always in rotation, always on your side, always there to give you what you need if you just listen. Just listen and just hear what He's saying. Most of the time, we don't quiet ourselves enough to sit and just listen. We're always online. That's why you don't see my face. That's why I'm not putting my face on here because it's not about me. This is about just listening and just allowing God to just speak through His creation because it's not about me. It's about just listening. What do you hear in the waves? What do you feel in the breeze? Because I can feel the breeze, even though you can't feel it, but you can see it with the trees moving. You can see that it's breezy and it's not hot. God's creation is, it just renders me speechless to see how anybody can be away from the water, away from creation. It renders me speechless. Just listen and get your moment of peace and go about the rest of your day and just listen to the peace. Look at the water moving. That's God moving in your situation right there. That water rippling, that's God moving in your situation. Even when you don't know He's moving in your situation. You are never alone. Even when you think you're alone, you're never alone. God is moving. Look at those waves moving. He's going to wash all those things out of your path. He's going to wash all of those tears away, those things that you cannot forget. Just listen. Just listen and look at those waves. Watch them. So the other day I shared a little bit about my healing journey in the domestic violence situation. And someone asked me, well, is there a part two to this? As I watch these waves, is there a part two to this? There's a lot of parts to this. It's the way He intends. I'm not one for going out and pointing fingers at people because my goal, even for the people who hurt me, is for them to be healed as well. I want them to not be able to have to do those types of things to feel like they have to do that to other people to survive. So my goal is always to try to point someone else, even the people who hurt me, in the direction of healing. And I know full well that I can't change a person. God can. God can. God can change anyone He wants. But it also starts with the person. You have to be willing. You have to be willing. You have to be willing. So as I go forward, I will share more about my journey with the abusive relationships that I've been in, because there's been more than one, and how God gave me the wisdom to protect myself in, and how He gave me the wisdom to get out and stay out, because we tend to want to go back. And most of the times when there is somebody who is abusive in that way to you, they're always trying to lure you back in. And I don't know what that is. I don't know why that is. Maybe that's something that I'll ask God about, because I'm not really sure what that's about when they try to reel you back in. And then when they reel you back in, it becomes sometimes 2 or 3 times worse than what it was. I experienced that with in my marriage. Every time I went back, it got worse. And it was harder to get out of it. So, when I started to go out and get into other relationships, and I said if I ever did, not that I wanted to, I didn't want to get back into another abusive relationship, but if I did, or even if I got to a point in a relationship where I knew it was time for me to move forward, I'm not going to leave and come back, leave and come back. If I am going to leave, I'm leaving once, because I'm not going to be a revolving door or make someone else believe that I'm their revolving door. Okay. So, and I did that this time. And there were many things and reasons and things that came up that made me decide that maybe that I needed to leave, but I didn't leave. And I stuck in there until God said now. And and that's important too, because you don't want to leave and come back. That's going to make it worse. So honor yourself. Honor yourself and listen to what God is saying. Listen. I'm giving you a little moment of peace today to listen to what God is saying in the water, to listen to what God is saying in the wind. Just listen. Just listen. Sharing my peace of serenity with you. And I am thankful for this serenity. Yes, simple. So I thank you. I gave you this little piece of serenity today. I shared a little more. And I'm going to continue to share the journey. But the majority of it will be in my book. So I encourage you to look for my book that's coming. Uh, and there is an ebook version of it that's already out. So I am so glad that I was able to share a little bit of my piece with you. Mhm. awesome. I mean, awesome. I mean, the little clouds, everything is awesome today. It's just awesome. Sometimes just sitting still through nature is so crucial to your healing journey. Allowing yourself to just stop and just process. And that's what I've been doing for the past 7, 8 months. That's why I've been so quiet. That's why I've been a little secluded, inaccessible. Isn't this beautiful? Look at this. Look at that. God is just awesome. Awesome. He's, when I first came out of the relationship in October, you know what my first stop was? The Potter's House. I went straight to Dallas. God orchestrated the whole thing. Um, and when I got there, I left everything on that altar, everything on that altar. And I was, of course, God always amazes me. But when I got there and there was other people in a similar situation, a lady that was sitting right next to me who was there for a similar reason as I was, to lay those burdens on that altar. And I was so thankful. I was so thankful. Now, other people saw it. Oh, I went down there for a vacation. And, I was a vacation, but that was a healing journey for me. I had to release all of that. I just didn't know what to do but to go to God. And I'm thankful I did. And when God says go, I go. I'm here now. I'm somewhere else now. And I'm like, God said, go. I'm going because you recognize your issues. They're probably deep rooted issues. Um, we have a lot of anger. You probably have a lot of anger. Like for me, I have a lot of anger built up because of the things that I watched my mom go through with the abuse. So I can't say that I was an abuser, but I became verbally. Yeah, verbally, I could go at it with some people. And then when God made me aware of that, I stopped. I'm very mindful what I say now. Um, so break the cycle for yourself, for your children, and for future generations because no one deserves this. And I'm going to keep talking about it until you get tired of hearing about it because I want to break the cycle and I want to break the stigma of coming out and saying, oh, this happened to me. Um, Breaking the stigma for mental health because if you go and get you some mental therapy, I mean, not go get some therapy or counseling to help you with your roots, then you may not be as angry as you were. You may be able to love openly and not abuse another person or yourself because sometimes we abuse ourselves. So I thank you for just joining me in my peace and serenity today. There's a boat moving over here and it's noisy. So I encourage you today to live on purpose and not by accident. This is a life calling Coach Athena. Like, share, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, LinkedIn. I'm everywhere. Stay plugged in and stay prosperous and stay blessed and stay in your peace of serenity. And don't let anybody take that from you. Have a blessed day.